Hello. Well, you know, it really is very difficult to know where to start with this Farage thing. It's just beyond imagining. But I thought I would show you the dossier that, I was going to say NatWest, that Coutts, basically NatWest, had compiled on Farage. I just want you to get an idea of what was going on in their minds. So first of all, this is the dossier. These are only thumbnails. Look at all of this. This is what they'd compiled on Nigel Farage, on his account. Nothing to do, well, I don't think there are 3 paragraphs in there that have to do with his financial viability. These are all what you might term background, to do with his character, his association, and his political opinions. Just look at this. This is his bank. This is absolutely terrifying. Right. So I'm just going to read you a few quotes from various pages. Despite the adverse press from a legal perspective, NF had not been formally charged of any wrongdoing and is not subject to any regulatory censure. So whoever wrote this, first of all, it should be formally charged with. So it's somebody whose English is not at the best standards. I'm not suggesting this person is in any way foreign, by the way. I'm suggesting that this person is semi-literate and is employed by a bank. He or she says here he's not been charged with anything and so is not subject to any regulatory censure, which means he's done nothing wrong. That's all it means. That could be put down here in that paragraph as Nigel Farage is squeaky clean from a legal point of view. That's it. But no, there's a lot of dress-up words here. And then this person says, despite the adverse press. And then later on goes on. I don't know whether it's the same person writing the whole document, but assuming it is, the rest of the document spends a lot of time quoting adverse press. Okay, page 2. Let's go to page 2. We should continue to monitor NF. And if there is a flashpoint involving NF, which would increase the reputational risk to the bank, it should be escalated to this committee promptly. I chose this particular paragraph because it's full of buzzwords, again, semi-literate English, and the point that talking about a reputational risk to the bank, I doubt that there's been anything of worse reputational risk, or better reputational risk, if that's the way round you like to look at it, than this document here itself. Now, there's a flashpoint here. What's with the scare quotes? A flashpoint is a word. There's no need for the quotes. That's the sort of thing that people do because they don't know how to use English properly. And then there's the buzzwords. Reputational risk, escalated to this committee. It's all a lot of buzzwords, a sign of a poor mind. Right, page 4, 1, 2, 3, what's this? 4, here we are. Key risks, reputational risk. NF is high profile, there's the scare quotes again, and actively courts controversy. Oh yes, so nobody who courts controversy can bank with Coutts. He has operated like this throughout his political and media careers. And what does this have to do with his banking? Principally, this arises because of the alleged Russian connection. More scare quotes. Oh, this person loves the scare quotes. Alleged Russian connection. He doesn't have one. And later on in the paper, it says there's no evidence of this. It is a reputational risk if we exit. I like the way they use the word exit. They mean if we ditch him. It's very likely that the client would go public if we exited him. Well, however stupid this person is, not that stupid, because that's exactly what happened. And there's that go public again, the scare quotes. There is no reason to put scare quotes there. And this new word, exited. If we ditched him, if we dropped his account, if we booted him out, if we ruined his business career. Yeah, that's what that exited means. Okay, now page 4. Yeah, now there's this. Racism, xenophobia, BLM, anti-Semitism. Right, it says here, tweeting about Braverman's exit, I don't know what that means. Farage called it a G coup, globalist coup, and labelled Shapps Remainer and globalist, which he is, or at least in many descriptions. That is, he would prefer Britain to be subsumed into some sort of a global organisation, and he's definitely in with the EU. Farage told The Guardian, "Since last Friday, I've described events in government as a globalist coup. I regarded it as a coup as well. I never said it was globalist, but we're all pretty sure what Farage means. And what he means is there are larger organisations which seem intent on changing British law. And the EU is the first stage in that. Jeremy Hunt is pro-EU, pro-CCP. This is what Farage says. Pro-WEF. This is all the globalist sort of stuff that he's talking about. And is a globalist politician." So he's talking about Jeremy Hunt here. Grant Shapps is cut from the same cloth and is also an open border pro-EU globalist. So he's calling Shapps a pro-EU globalist, and also Jeremy Hunt, famously not Jewish, a globalist as well. In what way is he singling out Grant Shapps? Apparently it says here, Jewish groups and campaigners have condemned commentators, including Nigel Farage and GB News, for calling Grant Shapps a globalist. Well, look, they're calling them all globalists. I think Jewish groups, I'd like to know which ones, and campaigners are probably being a bit trigger happy there. Yes, it's true that Jews have been accused of some sort of world domination thing, but in no way is that what Farage is talking about now, and they should really keep their powder dry for occasions when it's really needed. Okay, page 7. Right here, 25th of February 2022, the Indie, that's the Independent, which this person refers to as the Indie. A damning video of all the times Nigel Farage has praised Vladimir Putin is going viral on Twitter. Okay, so this was the 25th of February 2022. That is one day after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And the Independent has spoken about all the times that Farage praised Putin. Okay, so they're dredging up stuff from the past. Hang on, I want to find... Okay, so this is an article from The Guardian. It's more than 9 years old. Nigel Farage, I admire Vladimir Putin. That is from 9 years ago. I just want to point a couple of things out to you here. Praises Russian president's handling of Syria crisis, but describes Germany's chancellor as incredibly cold. I'm not sure that he did say anything about the Syria crisis. And then the headline, the top opening paragraph, has named Vladimir Putin as the world leader he most admires. But the UKIP leader has less kind words for Angela Merkel, describing the German Chancellor as incredibly cold. I can believe that. He also said he saw little to choose between the leaders of Britain's 3 major parties. Yeah, all right. But what did he actually say? Asked which current world leader he most admired, Farage replied, "As an operator, but not as a human being, I would say Putin." That's not quite the same as just saying he admires Putin, is it now? All right, well, so this is it. A damning video. This is quoting The Independent. This is not research. This is quoting newspapers. Now, before I carry on, I just want to show you a little, show you a little bit of the sort of research that's going on here. I'm going to type the word Guardian into the search panel, and let's see how many times it turns up. Okay, should we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. That's it. 34 in 43 pages. Now I'm going to type The Independent, a sister paper of The Guardian. Independent. Okay, let's have a look. Right, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, that's it, 13. Now I'm going to type in The Telegraph, which is considered a right-wing paper. Not all that right-wing, but anyway. Okay, let's do Telegraph. One, 2. That's it. Twice. That is it. Try as I might, I can't find any more. And no direct quotes from them either, whereas there are whole articles from the Guardian. All right, I just thought you might be interested in that. And I am interrupting myself to tell you I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds, also on Twitter and Gab, where I let you know when I've uploaded a new video. Please like this video, please share it, please subscribe. You can donate if you want. All the links are in the description. But one of the best things you can do for this video and this channel is to like the video. Okay. Back to the dirty dossier. Let's go on with this. Page 17. Let's see if I can find that here. This is supposed to be research. I don't know who did this, but it's probably somebody who studied media studies at university. Transactional analysis outcome where applicable. We have reviewed the account activity for both NF and Thorn in the Side Limited, that's his company, and can see nothing that appears to be a payment in relation to Russia, work in Russia, or anything pro-Putin. So they have found their proof here, and yet earlier on they're talking about alleged links to Russia. The values NF actively and publicly promotes / champions. That's again a bit of illiteracy, I might say. You're promoting, that's fine. Champions, that's fine. You don't need both of them. They mean the same thing. Do not align with the banks. Do not align with the banks. That's just awful English. You don't do that at the end of a sentence. I tell you, this person has got away with all sorts at school and later on at university, or maybe not even at university, particularly given the manner in which he states and monetizes those views. Okay, so, monetizing is the worst thing you can do, of course, for your views. It's not like anyone else does that, especially full-time politicians who have views and earn money off them. Deliberately using extreme, hateful, possibly maybe hateful, and emotive language, often with a dose of misinformation, as if this isn't full of misinformation here. At best, he is seen as xenophobic. Well, not by me. Maybe by you, though, because you have a very low-quality brain. And pandering to racists, and at worst, he's seen as xenophobic and racist. He just said, at best, he's xenophobic and racist, and at worst, he's xenophobic and racist. This makes no sense at all. He is considered by many to be a disingenuous grifter. This is casual language. This isn't research. This is gossip. And is regularly, almost constantly, the subject of adverse media, whatever that means. August 2018, in a publication called Nursing Notes, this doctor is venting his spleen on Nigel Farage. Disgraceful is the racism, abuse and hate unleashed by your foul and toxic referendum campaign. Balanced stuff. Disgraceful is the staggering and sustained 96% reduction in applications to the NHS from EU nurses since the referendum. Well, that's going to be obvious, isn't it? And why should Britain, which has a population of around 80 million, need to bring foreign nurses in? No, it's easier to bring them from abroad, isn't it? Disgraceful is people like you whipping up the hate that has caused all this misery. This is not research. This is a polemic. If you really were a man of the people, as opposed to the racist demagogue you are, how many times does he use racist in there? It would show some goddamn humility about the human cost of what you've done. And this is what the bank has taken as evidence that Farage isn't good enough for an account in their bank. I'm going to stop there because, as I say, it goes on for 40 pages. 40 whole pages of this sort of stuff. Semi-literate so-called research and just words and words and words from people who don't like Farage. And that's supposed to be the bank's research. This is a complete disgrace. It really is. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there. And this is only the half of it. I mean, this is just one part of the situation. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Grambo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.